battery and checks in. Terrence Hallinan, noted attorney and new San Francisco supervisor, talking to Jack Zinn.
Brian, I turned the stereo up so I couldn't hear them.
Bob Ettinger, Republican Abraham, Terry Hallinan.
He's very beautiful. Yeah. So, how long do you speculate it might take to get able to?
Just getting ready to sit down to dinner now. View out the window. There's America Tower.
Ago by Dr. Robert Ettinger, who we have here tonight, is still moving ahead and with full force. We're delighted to have here, I should say we're honored to have here, the Speaker of the California Assembly, Mr. Willie Brown. Probably one of the most powerful people in the United States. And Supervisor Angela Aliotto, the newest member of the Earlier in the day we had Supervisor Terry Hallinan, who had to leave unexpectedly. Among the distinguished scientists in the field of cryonics, we have Dr. Robert Ettinger, who came here from Chicago, or Michigan rather, and I'd like to acknowledge the presence of two of the founding members of the Cryonics Society, Edgar Swan and Jerry White. Dr. Saul Kent, and he needs no introduction. It's my pleasure to invite her here to welcome us Angela Aliotto, who will be the acting mayor of San Francisco next week.
Dr. Ben Abraham has me giving an impromptu welcoming to you all. As a rookie supervisor of the City and County of San Francisco, I've only been supervisor 4 days. I am extremely honored to welcome such an auspicious group to San Francisco. I don't know a lot about cryonics. Dr. Ben Abraham has been teaching me. I'm intimidated by it, but fascinated by it. Would like to learn much more. I am also the new chair of the Health Services, so on that chair we're going to be dealing a lot with AIDS, and I know that cryonics is the future to the cure for the AIDS epidemic. So I'm fascinated by it, and I want to work with you all. I want to welcome you all to San Francisco. You will have to be in one of the most beautiful cities, and not just the United States, but the world. So welcome.
Company and amongst good friends that I see all over the room, and so anyway, I'd like to talk a little bit about the science of cryonics and some of its origins and well, theoretical underpinnings, and just say a few words.
To introduce our next speaker, who is Dr. Robert Ettinger, and as I said, the prophet and founder of the whole cryonics concept, I'll invite Jack Zinn, President of the American Cryonics Society. And Jack, we're all privileged that you've been with us for over 5 years, and you've done a great job. I look forward to working with you in the future.
Oh, and he said, are there going to be any celebrities there at your dinner? And we told him, yes, you are. And he may not be much of a celebrity right now, but I think he's going to become a household word in the next few years. I'd like to give you the founder of cryonics, Dr. Robert Ettinger.
Now, Art Quaife was kind enough earlier to say that he remembered 15 or 20 years ago. I gave a stem winder of the speech, but you don't have to worry, I'm not planning to do that tonight.
All
all I want to do tonight really is remind some of the people here, and especially some of the people who are not here, but who may nevertheless hear about what went on. In particular, some of the political and business types, what the new opportunities are for us and for them. Some of you have probably heard the story they told about Robespierre during the hectic times of the French Revolution. He was sitting in a coffee shop with a friend, and there was a commotion outside, and somebody opened the door, and there was a howling mob rushing by. Robespierre jumps up and heads for the door, and his friend calls out, "Where are they going?" And Robespierre yells back over his shoulder, "I haven't the faintest idea where they're going, but I've got to get in front. I'm their leader." Situations, barring the collapse of civilization, are virtually inevitable. What's in it for you?
Book of World Records as the youngest person ever to earn an MD degree at age 18. He is now an elderly old man of 30 years. Dr. Ali bin Abraham, our chairman.
I will not bore you with a long speech. Here it is. The only incentive to listen to me is that you'll get a beautiful birthday cake. It's coming right afterwards and some entertainment. However, I'd like to tell you why I became interested in cryonics and this concept of immortality. Benjamin Franklin predicted that humans will one day live up to 1,000 years of age. And he said that he would like to live 1 year every century, so he could peek into future centuries or millennia and see the progress of our society and this world. What his dream that probably seems like science fiction today may very well become the reality of tomorrow. Indeed, since 1900, life expectancy, excuse me, I was late, you made me nervous. Life expectancy for an American has risen from 47 years to approximately 75 years of age. This remarkable achievement is due to the extraordinary strides in medical sciences. Medicine has all but eliminated 5 of the leading causes of death, including polio, tuberculosis, and malaria. Having basically controlled the infectious diseases that flagged the early part of the 20th century, today's researchers are looking at the puzzles of cancer and AIDS and Alzheimer's disease and osteoporosis and heart disease. However, the problem, as I see, is that the best minds are concentrating on the challenges of today rather than the possibilities for living longer in the future. Who would have believed a decade ago that our society will be tormented by a killer called AIDS? The best minds are now working on it. The medical community is caught by surprise and is unable and helpless in preventing the death of thousands. So in my view, it is high time that some courageous scientists from all parts of the world join others who already are working permanently, such as Dr. Siegel, Sternberg, Dr. Weitz and others, on finding a permanent solution, even if it's a hypothetical solution at this time, to preventing all future diseases. And cryonics is the only medical science that potentially can provide a cure to every possible disease mankind will ever face. Cryonics, however, is just the tip of the iceberg in a broader discipline of the life extension sciences. Life extension sciences consist of such areas as interventive gerontology, or trying to understand the aging process. The greatest and most permanent killer of all times is not cancer or AIDS or polio. Those are temporary illnesses. The greatest killer, the greatest disease is aging. And we're treating it as part of our life, and that is our mistake. Hopefully, one day in the future, we will be able to find what the aging process is, hopefully slow it, maybe even one day theoretically halt it or reverse it. Transplantation and artificial organs That's an area that has been demonstrating incredible results. Regeneration and biological repair, recreating cells that have been dead. To believe that aging and death are processes that we cannot avoid. Just because people have died since the beginning of time and people grow older does not mean that we should accept it as the law of nature. I think that with the innovations we are making and the progress that eventually will come in the future, we will be able to break the rules of nature. We've done many things in the past century that we have never done before. Things that would have appeared as miracles 100 or 200 years ago are now part of our lifetime.
Cake?
It's quite a cake, huh? Beauty.
Willie Brown blowing out the candles.
Fall into the earth and become one with it. This is called a leaf treader. I have been treading on leaves all day until I am autumn tired. God knows all the color and form of leaves I have trodden on and mired. Perhaps I have put forth too much strength and been too fierce from fear.